What's going on, guys? It's Fist, bringing it to you straight from my heart. That's what I do. Black Ops 3, me to you. New beta game. Just dropping the second video for you on my second channel because I know you guys miss me. And no, you don't. Anyways, so I'm going to be streaming beta Black Ops 3 on the 19th. Link's description below. This is when I used to test out all the weapons. I mean, look at that. I got smoked by a pistol. Do you think that's going to be any different, especially with lag compensation being in the game? I mean, oh my goodness, it's going to be terrible. Pistol, specialist. I think there's just going to be too much clutter in the game that people in general are just not going to want to stick around and learn to play a game that is completely different from the predecessors, and they just don't want to take the time to do that. And so at the end of the day, the people who have millions and gajillions of hours of time on their hands, people that are not in school and don't have no job or just sitting around doing nothing, yeah, probably they got time to play the game the way it's intended to be played. But the majority of people, they're just not going to want to get their ass kicked every single day, and they're just going to quit. And then, begs the question, classic military first-person shooter where you could just pick up a weapon and shoot people. I mean, that's why it's so successful. That's why it's so popular. That is why newspaper print and articles and everything that you read online or a newspaper is developed and printed in a third grade reading level. And the reason being, it's made for everyone. You don't sell stuff and make money when you just make stuff for a few people. On a few occasions. I mean, there are some things that, are specialties, like in a Ferrari, but that's made for a few millionaire people, and Call of Duty is not. So that just puts us in a position where, this is a $60 game that you want to sell to everybody. That just doesn't happen when you have, tons of obstacles like learning to play a game that is not a first-person shooter or military classic shooter like its predecessors. This is not going to happen. I mean, it is a first-person shooter, but it's not a classic pick-me-up game, so you're just going to have that problem. And like I said, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I mean, the whole purpose of playing beta. I mean, if you want to see people who just want to just use the same weapons and post high scores and be like, oh, this is it. I mean, you got to be a complete dumbass to think that people are going to play that way continuously all the way through. And you're going to see these videos where people are going to post this weapons and gameplay and tell you this is what they're going to use. But the smart players are going to play every single weapon, every single setup, so they know how to deal with cheesy setups. And they're going to know how to beat people like that. I mean, and unfortunately, there's people that are not going to be able to beat setups or even know how to because they just don't have the time to figure it out. So specialists, I can see turning into a very problematic, nightmarish ordeal for Call of Duty. For a couple things, it could be very powerful, and you don't understand the setups and know how to counter them, and then you have people that are new to the game that are completely clueless about this. So and then on top of that, to even compound that even more, is if they're probably going to microtransaction specialists. So if you're not in the beginning of the game playing the characters and understanding their counters and their balances, then when a new microtransaction specialist drops, you're going to you're going to even be further out of the picture. And so, I mean, there is some pros to it. And the pros are that, if you have something that's overpowered specialist, I mean, basically it's become a fighting game. It's become like the strategy of the microtransaction for the characters has become a fighting game. So, like, you might have a really strong character that, has no counter in the beginning of the game. So instead of nerfing it or whatever, what they'll do is they'll come out with a microtransaction specialist character that can counter the one that's been dominating the whole game. So in that respect, if you have the time to play this game and enjoy it the right way, yeah, it's great. But for new people picking up this game, and I think what stands out above everything else, I do like the intricacies of, knowing those things and the little things about the game. I mean, like knowing stuff that nobody else knows and that makes you feel great because you're an individual in the game itself. But I would rather, as a gamer, I'd rather have tons of new players who can just pick up a weapon and play, and just let them go I don't want to be the guy with the football and say, hey, it's my football. If you don't play my way, you have to quit and leave. Well, then guess what? You're the guy with nobody there that has nobody to play with. So it just isn't fun that way. So you want to make sure that you have everybody play. You want to make sure it's made for everybody. And I think this game is just getting to the point where it's so far out, you know, uh, and and if the game isn't made how it's sold, then I don't even think how could it be a spectator sport, an esport. It just can't because people can't excuse me. People can't even relate to that. How could you? I mean, in an esports game, you look at all the esports games that are out there now, League of Legends, blah blah blah. Those type of games. You can relate to them because it's the same as it's being played. Yeah, we get it. But when you have this game and it's just gone so far out of the realm of, comprehension. I mean, not comprehension. It's only because they don't have enough time to play. And some people may not comprehend it. I mean, you're looking at a level of comprehension that a child's not going to be able to balance this in their mind. They're not going to know how to counterbalance certain things. I mean, they're going to have to go online and really do some research. They're not going to get that information from Ali or T Martin or any of those guys. They won't understand that countering system. I mean, you're really going to have to dig for that information. You really have to be a good player to understand how to counter things and then put it in a video so in Gerber baby form so kids out there can understand how to play the game. We live in a attention deficit disorder society. I don't know what kid would even bother doing that. They'd rather just watch like a Minecraft video than actually learn how to play a game. So I don't even know. I just think this game is made for a very small group of people, and I don't even know who they are. I don't even think they're pro players. I don't even think this game is made for pro players. I think this is made for like a small group of people who are diehard fans who have no that have so much time on their hands they don't know what to do with it. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's who it's made for. I don't think it's made for anybody else. And I guess 55 million Americans who are on welfare. I guess that includes some portion of those people. And then I don't know what else. I guess I'm not trying to be offending anybody, but I guess people that are just on hard times. I don't know what else to say. I just don't know what community they think they're getting with this game. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, goodbye.